This morning's Farm Report is sponsored by LS Tractor. Start blue, stay blue.
This year, make LS Tractor your all-season workhorse. From spring applications using LS tillers, box blades, rotary cutters, and grapples, to winter applications utilizing LS snow blowers, blades, and brooms. With this lineup, there's no job you can't do with LS tractors and implements. Learn more at lstractorusa.com or check out your local LS dealer.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be with you once more. I have something I'd like to share this morning that has to do with our state and the products and the activities that originated here in the recent history of the United States, and particularly North Carolina. You might know from our license plates that North Carolina was first in flight and first in freedom, but our state is also the proud birthplace of tinctures, treats, and time-honored traditions. For instance, aviation had its birth in North Carolina in 1903 with the activity of Wilbur and Orville Wright. And there's a Wright Brothers Memorial down at Jockey's Ridge that there near Nag's Head that commemorates all of this. There are other products that originated in North Carolina. Not to mention, Virginia Dare was the first citizen, you might say, born in North Carolina and in the United. Well, back in the 1500s, it was not United States, but the birth date of Virginia Dare, born 1587. About a week after Virginia Dare was born in the New World, and that's what I was searching for. She was the first person born in the New World from the colonists who came from England. Her grandfather, John White, governor of the Roanoke colony, sailed for England from Roanoke Island. When she was finally able to return 3 years later, Dare and the other colonists had vanished. Today we remember the first colonists born on our soil when we see the Virginia Dare statue at Manio's Elizabethan Gardens. Then moving ahead in history, in 1894, Vicks Vapor Rub was introduced, and here's some details on it. North Carolina remedies made their way from Durham, Greensboro, and Winston-Salem to drugstores all across the country. Greensboro-based pharmacist Lunsford Richardson invented Vicks Vapor Rub in 1894. The salve, which helps ease congested breathing by releasing mentholated vapors when spread on the chest, was the most popular product made by the Vicks Family Remedies Company, and sales grew. Quickly when the epidemic hit in 1918, sales jumped from $600,000 annually to nearly $3 million, making the product a household name. One good turn deserves another, and Vicks Vapor Rub was ever so popular, but also the origination of headache powders. Headache powders were established in 1906, then improvements occurred in 1911, and then later in 1932. Before the days when pain relief medicine was nationally sold and marketed, local pharmacists made and sold their own headache powders. They became popular among meal and tobacco factory workers who performed physically demanding jobs in loud environments and needed quick pain relief to maintain productivity. BC powders, invented in Durham in 1906, Stand-back headache powders invented in Thomasville in 1911, and Goody's headache powders invented in Winston-Salem in 1932 became some of the most popular headache medicines in the country. History was created again from I'll call it more of an academic and historical stance with activities that occurred, such as the Mecklenburg Declaration, which led its way to and helped cultivate American independence. Residents of Mecklenburg County allegedly conversed on May 20th, 1775, to produce the Mecklenburg Declaration of Independence, declaring themselves free from Great Britain a year before the National Declaration of Independence. The original document was supposedly destroyed by the fire, but was recreated in 1819. Although the existence of the original text has been the subject of heated debate, our state seal and flag feature the date on which it was supposedly written. Then, not to mention Halifax Resolves, which is very close to our home here in Rocky Mount. On April 12, 1776, the Fourth Provincial Congress met in Halifax and submitted a document advising North Carolina to declare independence, making the colony the first to allow delegates to officially vote for separation from Great Britain. The document, which came to be known as the Halifax Resolves, inspired the colonies to work together to write the Declaration of Independence. Today, a copy of the Resolves is held in the State Archives of North Carolina. Back to products that have blessed and embraced the world, literally, globally. We feature momentarily Pepsi. Pepsi and Chill Wine, established in 1893 and 1917. Newbern pharmacist Caleb Bradham invented a sweet cola in 1893, first calling it Brad's Drink. It was later renamed Pepsi Cola for its popular properties as a digestive, and perhaps because it was a digestive aid, that is, and perhaps because it was thought to ease diphtheria, or maybe as a nod to the digestive enzyme pepsin. 2 decades later, Salisbury soda manufacturer L.D. Peeler purchased a cherry flavoring from a St. Louis salesman, and Chill Wine was born. Peel named the drink for its burgundy wine color and cheerful bubblies. And Pepsi Cola has indeed, in particular, blessed our nation, and it is so prominent and evident in eastern North Carolina. Then, not to mention Moravian cookies, established in the 1700s, so challenging to bake that even Martha Stewart struggled with the recipe. The paper-thin Moravian cookie flavored with molasses, ginger, and cloves was first made by Moravians in Salem after the community immigrated from Central Europe via Pennsylvania in 1753. Due to the cost of the spices, the cookies were traditionally made for special occasions, but are now available throughout the year. Let's not forget nabs, or some people call them square crackers, what have you. Nabs was established in 1913. Among the original nabs made by what is now Nabisco were discontinued in the 70s or 80s. Many North Carolinians continue to use the name for the cracker sandwiches made by Lance and Charlotte. After accidentally acquiring 500 pounds of peanuts in 1913, Philip Lance made lemons into lemonade, that is, peanut butter, which his wife and daughter spread and became crackers. So to reiterate that, nabs were founded or invented and made available in 1913. And my goodness, that is a staple to our diet, isn't it? Let's review Texas Pete hot sauce. This was established in 1929. The Garner family of Winston-Salem, later T.W. Garner Food Company, began producing Texas Pete after receiving requests to make their barbecue sauce hotter. Instead, they decided to create a new product and named the hot sauce Texas because of the Lone Star State's reputation for spicy food, and Pete after the founder's son's nickname. Another staple to our diet and a commonplace availability is the Krispy Kreme donut. We're really into some household names now: Pepsi Cola, Nabs, Texas Pete, and now Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme donuts were established in 1937. Vernon Rudolph first created our state's iconic hot fried dough in 1937 when he opened a wholesale donut business in Old Salem. The sweet smell lured passers-by to stop in, and he responded by cutting a hole in the well to serve up his treats street side. Today, Hot Now signs in nearly 400 Krispy Kreme shops call to hungry customers the entire world over. So we are grateful for that. American forestry had some original beginnings in North Carolina as well. The first school of forestry in North America opened in 1898 when the Biltmore Estate's chief forester, Dr. Carl Sneck, established the Biltmore Forest School. Sneck developed a program that taught more comprehensive and sustainable methods of forest management than were generally practiced at the time. Today, the site of the school is commemorated as the Cradle of Forestry historic site in Pisgah National Forest. And this milestone goes back to 1898. Let's not forget stock car racing. Stock car racing and NASCAR and Richard Petty, Junior Johnson, all of these household names had their beginnings in North Carolina. And the stock car racing interest prevails to this day. Stock car racing as we know it was established in 1948. Moonshiners first souped up their engines to outrun revenuers. Later they raced for sport on dirt tracks. In 1947, former driver Bill France organized a series of meetings that resulted in the drafting of rules for what would later thereafter be known as NASCAR, the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. Today, tens of thousands of fans attend races each year at Charlotte Motor Speedway and learn about the sport's history at the Queen City's NASCAR Hall of Fame. For instance, in 1960, Junior Johnson became the first driver to utilize drafting, riding in the slipstream of another car. By his retirement in 1992, Richard Petty had won 200 NASCAR Winston Cup races, and that's just a little bit of history on that. I see my time is about up, so I want to conclude with this, and thank you for allowing me to come into your homes. I look forward to next week. I want to remind you that next week, January 31st through February 2nd, are the dates of the Southern Farm Show. This is a very anticipated event on the State Fairgrounds in Raleigh every year, and it goes way back to the 1970s in its consistency, and vendors from all around the world really hook up down at the fairgrounds, and there are all kinds of inventions and innovations that are available. You can find a lot of good information in the Dorton Arena, and we look forward to talking more about that next week. But thank you for this opportunity. Have a good week, and God bless.